Greetings, word warriors. Today we're going to delve into the question of how to write a text dependent question. This is section 16, part 1 in your digital notebooks. And your I can statement is I can determine what makes a text unique. So today I want to teach you that if you know what makes a piece of text unique, you can consider why it was chosen and you can create higher level questions. Things that you have to consider are the literary elements, what inferences you can make from the text, and any character changes if you're reading fiction. So, in short, what makes this text interesting or unique? If you know that, like I said, you can consider why it was chosen. Why did we choose this piece of text to teach this particular lesson? And you will be able to create those higher level, higher thinking questions that help you and the other readers understand what you've read. That means you're not using things like what, why, how, when, where. You need to expand on those questions. We're not looking for true and false. We're looking for really deep thinking, introspective questions. So, what is a text dependent question, you might ask yourself? And I'm glad you did. I want you to watch this quick little video, and it will explain a lot to you. All right, that guy really beefed up. All right, so when we looked at this, it gave us a list of items in a shopping cart, and it said, read this shopping cart. So you could make certain presumptions based on what you see in the cart. And those first few questions that they showed you that were not text dependent were things that you could have asked even if you never saw the cart, even if you really didn't know anything about the cart. What would be a good gift for a 6-year old? Or why do you think that people use birthday candles on cakes? Or what's your favorite kind of cake? Those are all questions, but they're not text dependent. You could answer those without ever seeing the text. So we're looking for things that depend on the text. So I'm going to give you a few question stems today, and I would like you to write these down. I know it's a little lengthy, but it would serve you well to have these suggestions in your notebook. It will guide you as you create your own questions. So we're talking first about central and main idea. Basically, central idea is nonfiction and main idea is fiction, but they're essentially the same thing. So you're going to create questions designed to enable the reader to identify and explain the central idea of a whole piece of text or the main idea in parts of the text. So the first one says, what is the main idea of paragraph whatever? Is it stated or implied? So you need to go back to that paragraph, find what the main idea is, and then determine, did they flat out say the main idea of this paragraph is, which would be stated, or is it implied? Do you have to sort of figure it out? The next one says, what is the central idea of this passage or article? So now you're looking at the entire piece. Before you were looking at a paragraph. Now they want to know, what is the message of the entire piece? And again, you'd have to cite examples from the text in order to prove that. And number three, what is the claim in this argument and where is it stated? So most argumentative pieces have some sort of claim, as in, um, there are thousands of animals in shelters across the country who need homes, and they are abandoned by their families. They are born in the wild. They are mistreated. They are abused, and they're looking for homes. That's why everyone should own a dog. Well, that's why everyone should own a dog is my argument. That's my claim. And it's explicit. I have said that's why everyone should own a dog. But if I didn't want to make it explicit, I might say something like, pet ownership is a rewarding and fulfilling way to help animals get out of shelters and find homes that they can be loved in and be supported in and make people happy at the same time. You might infer from that that I think everyone should have a pet. Everyone should have some sort of a pet. But I didn't come right out and say it. So that's the difference between stating it and implying it. So the next part we're going to look at is key details. And those are when you create those who, what, when, where, why, and how questions that support the main ideas and are essential to understanding the passage. But remember, when I said you don't want to use those, well, you don't want to use those in very short questions that could say, who is the main character? That doesn't require much deep thought. So you want to make sure that the question is drawn out and asks for specifics, as in, what inference can the reader draw from, and then put the specific detail or line from the text? What inference can the reader draw from the line blank? Or you could say, what supporting details does the author include to help you learn what? If they're teaching you something, what details in there are they using to teach you to help you learn something? Specific details again. And what details does the author include that shows? So, what detail do they use that shows you something? A specific detail, again, anchored to the text. Or you could look at vocabulary. If you're a wordsmith, like I am, I enjoy words. Um, this will help you locate the most powerful words because you're looking for those words and phrases that help you create the questions and explore their meanings as they're used. A lot of times you will see words that you don't know in a text, but if you use those context clues, those sentences or words before or after the word, you can figure it out. So the first one says, what does whatever word or phrase mean as it is used in paragraph blank? So that word or phrase might have multiple meanings, but the way that they use it here, what does it mean? What context clues support the meaning of a particular word or phrase? So again, you're looking at context clues, and that could be something as simple as they give you a word and then they define it right after. If they said, oh, I don't know, photosynthesis, and then they had a comma and they said the development of plants using sunlight, then they have given you the word photosynthesis, then they defined it for you right after. So if you didn't know what it meant, now you do. That's a context clue that supports the meaning of the word. Or you could say in paragraph blank, what is the meaning of this figurative language? And there might be some figurative piece in there, a metaphor, a simile. Um, and what does it really mean? So now let's go write some text dependent questions.